Okay, folks, this is what we've been waiting for. The absolute confirmation that 2022 is the year. We just got it, and here it's going to be shown to you right now. So, before I show you the incredible information, let me ask you this. People have been talking about some movie that is the only movie that's going to be in the theaters this weekend. And you know, this weekend is Elvis's birthday, January 8th. Okay? So I don't know what the heck's going on, but let me just show you something. So before I show you the mind-blowing information that is finally going to confirm it once and for all for you guys, that June 11th, 2022 is the date for the Seattle Elvis event. Now, there's a rumor going around on the internet amongst the truthers, I guess, because I didn't hear about it, but a bunch of truthers were telling me this in the live stream, that supposedly there's no movies listed that are going to be playing at certain theaters, mainly AMC theaters. And the only movie that's going to be playing is this movie called The 355, which I've never even heard of. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because January 8th is Elvis's birthday, and this is the big one, this birthday. And I'm going to prove to you why this is it. But it for some reason, this January 8th connects to this 355, and I'm going to show you why. So Elvis Presley was born on January 8th, 1935, okay? And from Elvis's birth date, January 8th, 1935, to this year, January 8th, which is going to be his birthday, where he turns 87 years old. And look at this. First of all, you have the 777 in the numbers here in the days, but that's not why I'm showing you this. He turns 87, okay? This is, like I said, this is the big birthday number, and I'm going to prove to you why. But right now I'm going to connect it to the 355 number. So Elvis Aaron Presley turns 87 years old, January 8th. So if you type into the gematria calculator Elvis Aaron Presley, which is his full name, and the number 87, because he turns 87 years old, look what you get. 355. Just ask yourself, what is the chance that on Elvis's birthday, January 8th, he turns 87 years old, and it's the number 355 with his name. And, they're talking about this dumb movie, 355, which is, supposedly the only movie playing in theaters, which is a bunch of nonsense probably. But the point is, it's a stupid rumor that's going around. Okay? I'm just asking you what is the chance of this? And this dumb rumor with the 355 movie. So remember, I have two predictions. Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, Obama's birthday in Ohio. Trump gets the head wound, he survives. And then the big event is Elvis somehow manifests his name, his image, or the number of his name in Seattle after a catastrophic event on June 11th, 6/11, and it has something to do with the Seattle Space Needle. Let's look at what number day of the year June 11th is. So June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. Now pay attention closely, okay? So Donald Trump, his birthday is on June 14th, so he will not be 76 years old till June 14th. And I'm telling you that June 11th is the day that event happens in Seattle. That's 3 days before he turns 76, so he'll still be 75 years old when this June 11th event happens in Seattle. So Trump is 75. And like I said, Elvis turns 87 this year on January 8th, this weekend. So Elvis is 87, Trump is 75. So if you add 87 and 75, you get 162. Do you see that? You see what I'm talking about right now? This is it. This is the year. The 162nd day of the year is June 11th. And even the word birthday, because I told you Elvis is going to be born again, basically, all right, on June 11th. And I said Elvis turns 87, right? So birthday equals 87. Look at that. And he turns 87. And do you see this number, the 42? Why is this important? Remember, Elvis turns 87. Why is the 42 important? Elvis was 42 years old when he died. You see? Even that connects. So he turns 87 years old, and birthday equals 87. And the second number that birthday equaled was 42. And Elvis died at the age of 42. And Washington, the state of Washington, is the 42nd state, and that's where Seattle is. And Seattle is in King County, and Elvis was known as the King. Okay? Washington plays a major part in this charade. Now I'm going to show you the connections to Elvis and Washington, okay? But first, let me show you this. So now it's 2022, okay? So it's 222 the year. Washington's birthday is celebrated on 222. His original birthday was 211. They changed it to 222, and 211 is the 42nd day of the year. But they changed it to 222. So the new year is 222. His birthday is 222. And Washington died 222 years ago. Okay? Everything's about the 222. And interestingly enough, from Elvis's birthday, January 8th, the day he was born, 1935, if you went forward 777 days, it lands on February 22nd. Jackpot. Do you understand? 777. And remember, I told you Elvis had an identical twin that died at birth. Okay, you see? His identical twin was stillborn. And that's why Trump was needed to complete this monstrous charade. Okay? Because Donald Trump is Elvis's devil twin. And that's why I told you that the Twin Towers was a ritual for Elvis. If you've seen my videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's all about the twin. And the word twin equals 66, okay? And I told you that the Twin Towers fell 66 years, 8 months, and 4 days after Elvis was born. And the 8-4 is when Trump gets his head wound. So imagine that. So you got the 66 number for the twin. It was 66 years after Elvis was born. The Twin Towers came down. 66 years, 8 months, 4 days. Okay? And 8-4 is when Trump gets his head wound. Anyway, let's look at this. So the word twin equals 66, 21, 87. This is the front number. Okay? And this is the back number. And I told you Elvis died at the age of 42. Look at that. But anyway, so just look at this first row. 66, 21 for twin. And from Elvis's birthday, the day he was born, if you go forward 6,621 days, it lands on February 22nd, Washington's birthday again. 6621. Do you see? 6621 is the twin number. You see? 6621. And it equals 87. Elvis is 87 years old, January 8th, in 2 days. Or 2 or 3 days, whatever. Like I said, Elvis is going to be crowned the Antichrist this year. And on June 11th, the catastrophic event is going to happen in Seattle, or some kind of spectacular event involving Elvis somehow. Like I said, Elvis is the Phoenix rising. He's going to rise from the ashes, resurrect. And like I said, he's going to get his crown, right? So this is the O is a crown. I've told you that. Like, oh God, oh Lord. The O is a crown. So, O Elvis, resurrection, June 11th, 2022. What do you get? Look at these numbers, will you? First of all, there's a 555, which is, same numbers across, but that's not what's important. It's right here. Does that look familiar? Look, it's the 662187, but it's got crowns on it. The O is a crown. So it's 662187 with the crowns. What is 662187? What is that? It's the twin. 662187. But with this written, it has the crowns on it. 662187 with crowns. And look, Elvis has the crown, you see? How is this possible? And you know Elvis, he died on August 16th, right? And Washington died December 14th. So Elvis died on August 16th. Washington died on December 14th. And from Washington's death date, December 14th, to the day Elvis died, August 16th, is 611 days. And I told you Elvis is going to come back on 6/11. You see that? It's up to this day. Not including August 16th, but up to that day is 611 days. You see how crazy that is? And I told you Elvis is coming back in Seattle on 6/11. So this time I used the actual death date of Washington, the year also, December 14th, 1799 was the year. And if you went forward 611 days, you land on August 16th, including this date. Okay, you see it's including. So the other one I was showing you to Elvis's death date was 1977, but August 16th. But anyway, I was just trying to show you that it's 611 days in between Washington's death and Elvis's death. And look at this. From August 16th, Elvis's death date, 1977, if you went forward to June 11th, it was 665 days. But check this out. If you go to a leap year, it becomes, see, I changed the years from 77 to 78 and from 79 to 80, same dates. It becomes 666 days. So from Elvis's death to June 11th, where the big event's going to happen in Seattle, is 666 days. Do you understand? So I just connected Washington's death to August 16th, which is 611 days, and then from August 16th to June 11th, 666 days. I mean, ridiculous. Anyway, folks, listen. Elvis is Lucifer, okay? And he's trying to get his wings back. Watch what I show you when I tell you that Lucifer lost his wings. He's going to get his wings back. Watch. And remember earlier I showed you this, that Elvis turns 87 on January 8th, which is coming up in a few days, and Trump is going to be 75 until June 14th this year. And June 11th obviously comes before that when this event happens in Seattle. So Elvis is 87, Trump is 75, and I was just talking about wings, right? So if you put a crown on the wings, look what you get. 8775. You see that? It's the 87 is the twin number, and also 87 is the Elvis age, 75 is the Trump age, and it equals 162. That's how old they are. 87 and 75 is 162. The wings, you see? The O wings. And if you think I'm crazy, watch this, okay? Watch this. 8 plus 7 is 15. 3 plus 3 is 6. So that's 15, 6. 7 plus 5 is 12. And then you got the 3. So you have 15, 6, 12, 3. Now watch what I show you. You see the letter O? I told you it's a crown. Remember what I pointed out just a second ago? 15, 6, 12, 3 for the letter O. 15, 6, 12, 3. You see? You see what I'm talking about? 8 plus 7 is 15, 3 plus 3 is 6, 7 plus 5 is 12, and then there's just the 3. 15, 6, 12, 3. So I have a few more things to show you before I show you the most mind-blowing info yet. So from January 8th, the day Elvis was born, to this year, January 8th, his birthday, which is in a couple of days, I told you it has the 777 in it. And I told you from Elvis's birthday, January 8th, if you went forward 777 days, it lands on 2/22, Washington's birthday. And this year's 2/22, right? The year 2022. But it's the 777 and the 2/22. So if we were to put into the gematria calculator 777 and 222, because if you've seen my videos from a long time ago, which were, terminated by YouTube, I was always talking about the 222 being heaven's numbers and 777, right? Look what you get when you add 777 and 222. Look at that number, will you? You see that? 611. June 11th, I'm telling you. And look, if you add the 55, because the 0 doesn't count here, 611 plus 55 is 666. You see that? And like I said, folks, if you want to believe in crazy coincidences like that, then you're just nuts. Like I said, the mind-blowing info is coming, all right? Just keep watching. But I have to show this because this is super important. So remember, Elvis turns 87, I told you. And if you put a crown on the number 87, you're going to see why it's so important. 087. Just look at this first part. 154, 64, 218. Forget about this. So for 87 with a crown, it's 154, 64, 218. It equals the exact same as the Antichrist, only the front row. Forget about this. The Antichrist, 154, 64, 218. It equaled the same as Crown 87, 154, 64, 218. And why is that important, this 154, 64, 218? Because if you put a crown on the number 154, 64, 218, like if you wrote it out, the numbers, and you put a crown on it, look what you get. 611. You see? 611 again. And that's the Antichrist number, 154, 64, 218. And you put a crown on it. Anyway, the whole point is that it equals 611. Just like Elvis's birthday. When you put a crown on his birthday, January 8th, you get 162, and backwards is 216. And 162 is June 11th, and 216th day is August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound. 162nd day of the year is June 11th. August 4th is the 216th day of the year when you put a crown on January 8th. And this is the only day besides April 11th. Only April 11th equals this exact same thing. No other numbers have 162, 216 when you put a crown on a date. Only January 8th with a crown will do this. You understand? Only when you're putting crowns on the numbers. Without the numbers, there's a few that equal 162. It's like January 1st, July 12th, and September 3rd, I think, will equal 162. But with the crown, the only dates are January 8th and April 11th. I'm getting to the important part. Just hold on. Elvis equals 67. Just remember that. Elvis equals 67. 67 is the first number that reaches 162 on the top. Right here. 67 is the first. So if you went from 1, 2, all the way up to 66, it would not show up. 67 is the first number that's 162. And Elvis equaled 67, you see? 162nd day of the year is June 11th. And remember I showed you this? If you put Elvis and Donald into the calculator, look, it equals 162 on the bottom right here. And if you add Barack to Elvis and Donald, you get 216, and that's August 4th. Because I told you he's born on August 4th. The 216th day of the year is August 4th. That's why Barack was needed. And Barack Hussein Obama, his full name, equals 666, which I was the first one to show you guys that. Nobody could ever put the 666 on Barack. That's why Barack was so important. Anyway, I'm just showing you all the connections here. You see? Barack Hussein Obama equals 666. You see? Because I created this type of gematria, and that's why I was able to find the 666. Anyway, well, all I'm saying is if you add those three together, then you get 216. If it was just Elvis and Donald, it was 162, which is June 11th. And 216th day of the year is August 4th. Now watch this. If you take these three numbers right here, because I told you they needed Barack to complete this charade. And if you take these three numbers, 153, 63, 216, you put that into the calculator, 153, 63, 216, look, 611, again. This is why Barack was chosen, to complete the 611. I'm almost done, folks. Be patient. The mind-blowing info is coming. So, from Elvis's birthday, if you went forward to June 11th, it's 154 days, but not including that day. It's up to that day. It's 154. And I told you the words, the Antichrist equals 154, up to June 11th. And if you add that day, you'll get 155 days, including June 11th. And why is 155 so important? Because the number 155 is the first number in the numerical chart. If you started from 1 all the way to 154, you wouldn't get 216 on the top. 155 is the first time you see 216 on the top, because the 216th day of the year is August 4th, the 216. And Elvis's full name, Elvis Aaron Presley, equals 216. Okay, which is August 4th. And like I said, these dates came to me supernaturally. I told you it was led by the Holy Spirit. Elvis returns on 6/11, which is the 162nd day of the year. And Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, which is the 216th day of the year. Every one of those numbers connects to Elvis and Trump and Obama, all these numbers. All right. And in a different video, I'll explain how this connects to the twin numbers, because 1 and 8 equals, if you put 1, 8, 1, 8, it would be 216, 216. And if you put 8, 1, 8, 1, it would be 16, 2. Because it's the twins, because Elvis had an identical twin that was born on the same day as him, right? 1, 8, 1, 8. They were born on 1, 8. Anyway, I'll explain that in a different video. But so June 11th is the 162nd day. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. It's the same numbers, 162, 216, same numbers. I'm almost at the end, folks. Just one more thing after this. So remember I created this month chart where if you started from January is the first month, you go to the December is the 12th month. But instead of starting from 1 again, you go to 13th. So January would be the 13th month and so on, right? And I showed you how June is the 6th month, the 66th month, And then if you keep going, it's the 200. Look, you have the 162, which is, I told you, June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. So month 162 is in June. Month 222 is in June. And we're in the year 222, right? And if you keep going, you'll see that the month 666 is in June. You see? And if you keep going, you'll see that the month 870, the 870 month, because I told you 87 is when Elvis turns 87, plus he gets a crown. 87 with a crown, 870 is in the month of June. You see? That's when Elvis makes his return. And I told you that it's a 73rd number down too, and 73 means perfect. And it means EL, but you're not gonna, I don't want to get into that right now. But it's 870s in the month of June when Elvis returns. Oh, no, I have to show this too. So remember, I told you June had the 870, and it was the 73rd number down, the 870, because I told you 73 means perfect. Look, if you take Elvis's months, he's in the first month, the 13th month, the 25th month, the 37th month, 49, 61, 73. I told you 73 means perfect. If you took all these numbers up to 73, look what you get. So you put all those numbers into the calculator. 1, 13, 25, 37, 49, 61, 73. Because 73 means perfect. Look what you get. 870. And I told you in June, the 73rd number down in June was 870, which is Elvis turns 87 with a crown. Because the Antichrist is going to be crowned. All right? And I showed you that the 777 associated with Elvis. Look at this. Look at these numbers, man. Okay, folks, the mind-blowing info is right after this. Remember I showed you this? I told you Elvis turns 87 on January 8th this year, 2022. And Trump is going to be 75 years old all the way up to June 14th. So when the June 11th event happens in Seattle, he still will be 75. 87, 75 equals 162. And June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. Okay? Now, I told you Barack was needed, right? I told you Obama was the third piece of this puzzle. Elvis and Trump are Elvis is at the top, Trump is second, and Obama's third, in the the way it goes. But anyway, if you take their ages, 87, 75, plus 60, and he's going to be 60 till August 4th, the day Trump gets his head wound. Look what you get. 2, 2, 2. Can you believe this? Is this unbelievable or what you're saying? This is it, folks. This is it. Right here. 222. I told you the year is 2022, which is 222. Washington's birthday celebrated on 222. Washington died 222 years ago. And remember on my month chart, June is the 222nd month also. And from Elvis's birthday, go forward 777 days, it lands on 222, Washington's birthday. The jackpot. And remember, I told you 777 plus 222 equaled 611. And 611 is the day that Seattle gets struck. I mean, can you believe what you're seeing? 87 and 75 equaled 162. 162nd day of the year is June 11th. And add Obama, you get the 222. June 11th, 2022. Anyway, folks, I hours and hours of information that I can add to this, but I've got to end it. This is just too much already. Anyway, folks, go back and watch the video again if you didn't fully grasp it. Anyway, end of video.